Good afternoon. Welcome, bienvenue, 歡迎大家, willkommen. My name is Kelly Lam. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Miele. And as many of you continue to remain in your homes across the country during these times, we want to welcome you into our home here at the Miele Experience Center, Toronto. Over the past 8 weeks, we've been able to bring to you MieleLive. These sessions have been driven by you, our customers, in answering questions that you have from us, but you're unable to visit us. This week is a really special week. We're really excited to have our partners at the Concord Group join us this week for an entire week at MieleLive. It's a partnership we're extremely proud about. 2 brands that are focused on quality and the best customer experience possible. We want to make sure all of you register for this session because at the end of the session, we have some really special prizing. So make sure if you haven't registered on MieleLive.ca, do so right now. We've covered various topics with our partners at Concord already this week. We were able to visit their presentation center in North York, here in Ontario. And yesterday we covered topics of laundry and dishwashers. Today is a really exciting topic and covering new technology in the areas of ventilation and specifically cooktops. I'd like to welcome to the show today from the Concord Group, Nadia.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm happy to be here today with Marilyn at Miele. It's great that Concord is incorporating cooktops in some of our projects. Our cooktops are actually standard in Seattle House and London projects. We're also offering Miele electric and gas cooktops in our various other projects.
That's great. Okay, and as we're talking about cooktops, I mean, we've gone from what electric from before, what we have, and that's standard in some, as you're mentioning, in some of your products and projects, in there, and then the gas cooktops as well. But we've evolved from there. So induction now everybody's inquiring about it. A lot of people want to know how efficient it is and is it faster than gas. So I thought that we would maybe talk about the induction a little bit and to do a little demo with how fast it boils.
So Marilyn, I've read that we can actually boil a pot of water within 2.5 minutes on the induction cooktop. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, you can. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just actually going to turn the unit on, and I'm going to pour ice cubes into, just to show how fast this is, and I'm going to put it onto a boost. So what the boost will be is you can actually see inside there, Nadia.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's already creating the molecules that's in there, and the ice cubes are actually already melting very fast.
Wow,
I'm not too
that
sure.
is fast.
Yeah. And I didn't fill this pot completely up right now, but it's just to actually show you how fast this is, that the ice cubes are melting really fast.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And that's with our boost feature on here too. Yeah. I've also done this where I've just set it on number 9. And what that actually does is, it may not take it to the full boost right away to get it to that rapid boil, but it is hot enough that it will melt the ice as well very fast. But in this case right now, doing the, we have a single boost and a double boost as well. So I've just put it on the double. We're almost there with all of the ice cubes melting. And what this is actually doing is we can see that the molecules are actually still moving in here. It's creating that boiling point now that's going to happen.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Wow. So just give it a few seconds here and it will start.
So Marilyn, then, as quickly as that's boiling, is the actual cooktop hot to the touch?
No, so as you can see here, we have an actual burner size that's here.
Yeah.
And normally when you put this on, so you'd think that putting it on a boost that the whole burner would heat up.
Right.
Which it would normally if you have an electric cooktop. So, but if you were to put your hand around.
Oh, that's not hot at all.
Yeah. So I can put my hand around here and I'm fine.
Wow.
Now, what will actually happen, because I'm just getting that boiling is starting to affect here, is I'll show you something pertaining to the whole burner, whether it gets hot or not. So now we're actually, it's getting the boil. That was really fast.
That was very fast.
So now, which is what a lot of people like with gas, because they like the moving flames, they like to see that, and they think, you know, it's so much faster. But with gas, you can turn that down automatically. So once we get to this boil, and maybe I'm not quite ready to put in what I was boiling in there, whether it's pasta or potatoes or anything like that. So what I can do instantly, similar to gas, is that I can just decrease that right down.
Okay.
So as you notice now, it's turned down
right off.
completely,
Yes.
which is a nice feature. Now, with the induction cooktop, once we lift the pan off of the actual burner, what it does on here is that there will be a, if you don't, because see how it's flashing right now?
Yes.
So what it ends up telling you is that you have like 3 minutes in order, because it has a memory that's in there that will tell you, did you mean to take this off? Because if not, when I put this back down, it's going to stop, and it's registered back to the number that the burner temperature that I had it taken off.
So essentially it recognizes that the pot's been removed.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And also lifting it up like this is that, as we were talking about, like how it's still cool to the touch. Well, I would have residual heat that is really from the pot itself. Which you would never be able to do that if you had an electric on there, because it doesn't disconnect it immediately. So that's always a caution there. That's why with the induction, it's very safe. Especially when you're cooking and you've got kids around as well, which is good. Okay. So now that I've lowered this down here, let me show you a few other things that we can do on here. So if I were, let's pretend that I'm boiling water, or I'm actually going to be frying some bacon or some chicken in there. And I don't want the whole cooktop to be splatters with the fat from the pan itself. So if I had this, like when I had it on a full boost on here and it was boiling, and if I had kept it going, it's going to start splattering to come out. So what we can do actually is I can take a paper towel, a bigger piece. I'm just kind of doing a small piece right now, and I can slip this in between. So ideally, you want your paper towel to come and cover the area of the cooktop, but what it does is that it captures any splatters on here.
So this would just be a standard paper towel, nothing special?
Nothing special.
And it doesn't catch a flame?
No.
Wow,
And ideal to use on this as well is Silpat. So Silpat, it goes up to very high temperatures that when you're baking cookies, you'll put that in the oven. Well, this can now sit on the bottom here. So as you're seeing, maybe little splatters that I can see if I had it covered completely. But if it was bacon fat or chicken fat, whatever you're cooking, you'll see these splatters that are on there. So to eliminate that, it stops. So again, I'm going to turn this down. And if I were taking this off completely, literally, see, and that was on the boost. So I basically, if you want to put your hand on there.
Oh, it's not hot at all. Wow,
so then you just would wipe off anything that you have on here that you were cooking, and that you're good to go. You don't want to use any harsh chemicals on here. You just want to have like a microfiber cloth that's wet to wipe down the actual cooktop. And then a dry one just to polish it up. So
does Miele sell a product that we can use to clean the cooktop?
We do have our Care Collection products, and on there it has a Saran top cleaner, as well as we have the microfiber cloths that you can use for this as well. But we're not quite done yet. So with this, what we do on this particular unit, what I've done here is that on other cooktops, electric or gas, you would normally, if you're melting chocolate, you would use a double boiler. And double boiler is just basically something similar to this. So you would have hot water on the inside, and then you would put a bowl over that and put your chocolate in there. And then because you don't want the water actually touching the bottom, so you're just going to have that with the heat that's going to start melting the chocolate. But in this case right now, what we have is that I have put some chocolate chips in there since early this morning. And as you can see right now, if you want, is it melted?
Well, it looks like the chocolate chips are still fully formed. Okay.
So let's give that a little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty incredible. It's fully melted.
Yes. So maybe if we can turn it this way so that we can show our viewers as well. So it started out, we just had the little chocolate chips in there, and now we're turning that. So as I mentioned to you, with keeping this on the cooktop, the burner itself, so we can just put that there. I put this on early today, and I would start it off at a number 4.
Okay.
I want to get that glossy look to it, and then I want to drop it to number 1. So what does that mean is that I could have the chocolate on the burner all day. I can keep it on from 9 in the morning.
And it doesn't change the consistency?
It doesn't change the consistency.
Wow,
It doesn't scorch or burn it at all. And also, I can have this going on until 8, 9 o'clock at night. So there's always chocolate that's available, and
it will always remain the same?
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, kids can dip their strawberries in there, some pretzels.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows as well, which is really good on this. Yeah. We also have a nice stop and go feature on here. So with the stop and go feature, what it does is that maybe you might be actually frying an egg. So when you're frying the egg and you find that, oh, you're not quite ready to finish it, you would press, in this case, there's 2 little markings right here.
Yeah.
You press that, and what that would do is that it brings everything down to a hold. So when you, at that pan that you have on there, it would bring it to a number 1. So that's just a holding position. So if you're stepping away as well, you just, it holds it, and then you can do what else you're preparing. And when you're just about ready, you can press that again, and that dash would bring it to, if I had it at number 6 or 7, it's going to bring it back to that temperature
that you left it at.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Which is a great feature that we have on here. Also, with our cooktop, with the induction cooktop, we have pan recognition. So that's something that a lot of people, when we're looking at this burner, for example, so this may look smaller, but maybe I have a smaller pot that I want to put on here. So there's little markings on here.
Yes.
And with these markings, it means that 70% of this burner should be covered. So if you're a bit smaller than that amount, it may not work as efficiently, but it will still work, but it's not going to be at that power level that you want. So with covering it at 70%, it recognizes there is a pot that's on there as well. Which is a lot of, that's a really good feature to have, especially like right now. I have a big burner that I have on.
Right.
But I really only used the inside element right here. So that actually is a nice feature as well. And also then what we can say is that the difference is then if that gas is very efficient, you've got the turn down, so you've got the beauty of both units. So from electric, you've got the glass from an electric unit, which is easy cleanup. But then you've also got the efficiency of turning down the heat, like for gas when you have it high, and a lot of people like that, they want to bring that temperature down, they just turn the burner down. Well, we have that with the induction as well, which is really good. So right now as well, another feature on this one we have a bridge element on here. So what does that bridge element do? Well, what this is that if you have a grill pan that's large, and you know it may be too big for just a single burner on here, so we could have the large grill pan that would be on here. And then we would actually just turn this on, and there is a little right here. There's that button right here, and that tells you now that's the bridge element. And then the actual temperature that you select would be on this side, but that would control
the entire one. Now I noticed on here when you selected the digital clock to turn it on.
Just hold your hand
you
down
hold
on that
it for a second.
Yes.
So I noticed there's a timer there.
Yes.
What exactly is the timer used for?
Well, that's a great question. So with the timer is that what we can do here is each burner, you can actually program it as to whether you're boiling something for like eggs or something for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So when you turn this burner on, you would actually select your temperature, or let's just say this side here, and then you press your timer on here, and then you'll put it down for 4 minutes. So once it recognizes that with this unit here, we are actually putting the timer on After 4 minutes,
It shuts off?
It's going to actually flash.
Okay.
And then you'll see that it'll turn off. So I can set a timer for every single one of my burners that I have on here. So I have 5,
Yeah.
even though you see 4. So
Right.
this is 1, 2,
And then the
3,
double,
4, and then,
the full.
the full
Okay.
on here.
Wow, that's really neat. And then just with regards to the lock function,
Yes.
as a mom with young children,
Yes.
that's an important feature to me.
Yes.
So how does that work?
Well, with this on the lock function right now is that when you have this unit off, if we were to press this, it will go a few minutes. It should actually register that on this, and then it will lock it down.
Okay.
So that if the kids come closer to it, they won't be able to just press the button and turn it on.
Right.
And the reasoning also is that you notice how you were just tapping this originally and it wasn't going on. Well, that's a lot of times what kids do. They come
Right.
and they'll just tap something. So you physically have to hold this in order for it to come on. Just like
Okay.
that. Okay? And then anytime that you have a unit, a pot that's on this burner as well, when you take this off, it will recognize that it is still kind of warm to the touch, right? So it's not going to be completely cold. It'll just be hot.
Okay.
Okay, and then once that cools down completely, that sign right there, that dash.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because we've turned this off right now. So I'm going to just put this back on, just leave it on number 1 like I had. And then it's going to actually tell us that now it's cool. You can wipe everything down and not to worry about with the kids
Wow.
being around there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just induction is something I really love in the home, especially when you've got kids that love to cook and they
Right.
want to help mom and dad that's
Yeah.
cooking in the kitchen, and you're always so worried about, oh, this is too hot to the touch. I don't want you to
Right.
get too close. But it's really nice. It encourages them to be cooking and not
Yes.
worry about whether they're going to get burnt or not.
I would imagine then that it's energy efficient as well.
Yes, very energy efficient, and because of the fact that it's boiling, like it cooks everything faster. So, kind of, I'm going to go back a little bit here. Is that normally when we're using other products like cooktops, is that if you're making spaghetti
Yeah.
and pasta sauce as well, a lot of people will start boiling the water first because of the length of time that it takes for the water to boil. But as you can see
Right.
when we turn this on, the water is boiling faster.
Very fast.
So you kind of change a few of your cooking styles, because now what ends up happening is that you will start with your sauce first to cook that, and then near the end you're actually putting the pot on for it to boil, because it will boil fast. Now keep in mind as well with induction,
Yeah.
you just can't use any cookware.
Okay.
So it has to be a pot basically that states on the bottom, and that's where you'll be able to see in this particular case. This one can be used on gas, it can be used on induction, on electric, on a coil burner. So it's giving you that recognition
Right.
that you can use that, because what some people don't realize that when they have an induction cooktop is that they're taking their old pot, so maybe it might be a copper pot, and they're
Right.
putting on, and they're waiting for this to boil. But it's not registering because there's
Okay.
not a magnetic strip on the inside
Got
that
it,
does
okay.
the connection with the cooktop itself. Okay,
Got it,
so
okay.
that's something that would be good for customers to know, that if you have, like in your project,
Yeah.
with the induction, is actually having the right pots.
Okay. And these are pots that could be purchased anywhere.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Anywhere that you go to, you'll find that different places that you can purchase this. Just look underneath the pot itself, and you'll be fine.
To look for that symbol.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Also, living in a condo, oftentimes the living space is part of the kitchen.
Yes.
So hood fans are very important for
Yes.
circulation. Can we talk a little bit about hood fans?
Sure. With hood fans, and that's an interesting topic really, is that a lot of people have hood fans in their homes, and it's there for decoration. They don't really think about it when they're coming to cook, because it's like, I'm going to be using the burner and that's fine. But one of the little tricks is that you should turn on your hood system at least 5 minutes, 8 to 5 minutes before you're actually cooking, because what you want to do is you want to cause a cyclone effect going on.
Right.
So it will pull it up. So for example, let me just do this for now as well, because I'm not sure if you noticed from before. With this one here, this hood that we have over our induction,
Yes.
what it does is that as the heat increases from the pot that's boiling,
I noticed it turned on automatically.
exactly.
Okay.
So that means what it's doing is that it's recognizing before it gets really boiled in, right, is that it's already turning on and it's causing that effect in there so that this will now start to be vented out.
Got it.
So if
Okay.
you forgot to turn your fan system on, but your home or your kitchen is already smelling like it's really great that you can smell the food, but
Yeah.
that's going to linger now into the home because it hasn't suctioned some of this out. So
Okay.
here we go, it's still on,
Yeah.
and it's nice, and you can see that it's vacuum, like it's just creating this lift that's going through the
Yes.
fan system.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, and that's nice that, you know, in homes to have the hood system is that knowing that turn it on, make sure you're using it properly,
Yeah.
clean the filters.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
that's
in terms
important.
of cleaning the filter, how would you do that? Or is it something that you would wash by hand, or can you throw them in a dishwasher?
Yeah, if your dishwasher has a function in there that it can do filters, definitely you can put them into the dishwasher. If
Okay.
not, they simply come out of the hood fan itself,
Yeah.
and then you can just run it under water, use some soap to clean that through. If you're doing a lot of frying,
Yeah.
what you should actually tend to do is clean it more frequently than some people that will do it once every 6 months or,
Okay.
you know, even once a year. But at that
Right.
point, what ends up happening is that it blocks anything that could be filtering through, especially when it's grease buildup on here.
Right.
So with that right now, what ends up happening is that it's going to go down. So what that ends up happening is that because of any of our hood systems, we have a 9-layer mesh system for the screen itself. So that means it's capturing everything that's going through the hood and it's filtering it out into the air then after that.
Okay.
So it's good.
And in terms of noise level, this one here I noticed is fairly quiet.
Yes, it is quite, quiet, and they're all a little bit different because also for us in our active kitchen in here is that we have very high ceilings, so we
Right.
have to vent this quite out. But a lot of people think that, you know, the higher the CFM, the better, the lower the CFM is better. But really it goes to what your configuration is on your cooktop. So with induction, because it doesn't create a lot of heat, you know, you can be at about 425 CFMs to go up. But in some of our hoods, like we have different, we have 425, 625, 700 CFMs, or even up
Right.
to 1100 for our pro models with the
Okay.
hood. So we've got something that fits every cooktop or
Right.
range that we have that would accommodate it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yes. And wanted to also just mention that what I wanted to also say is that it's always been a pleasure to have Concord, obviously, to come in and to learn about the different appliances that Miele has to offer. And I believe, so tomorrow we have, what's going to happen is it's Get Set to Cook, and that's featuring Leslie and Jenny from A1 Radio, Singtel Media. So they'll be actually coming in. It'll be fun because
That'll
they're
be
going
a
to do a
lot
little
of
bit
fun,
of a
yes.
cook-off between the two of them. And then on Friday also, they have the Art of Preservation, and that's using the storage for our wine fridge and also for our refrigeration system. And I do also want to tell our viewers as well is that with Miele, we started this new initiative, and it's for restaurants that can apply with MieleLive.ca. And when they do that, because it's just to help them as well with this process of that they're getting back to work and
Yes.
they're still helping customers that are out there. But we'll purchase 100 meals to donate to frontline workers. And so tomorrow we actually have a special guest. So we have Chef Eric, and Chef Eric actually placed first place on season 1 of MasterChef Canada. So he will be here and from his restaurant R&D. So we're going to be very happy
That's
to
exciting.
actually have him here.
Yeah.
Yes, and also I think for us, with Concord, we're doing some prizing for today. Is that
We
correct?
are,
Yeah.
yes. Yep. There are 2 prizes that we will be giving away. So I'll let you go ahead and do the first one.
So for the first prize, because we're showcasing Cooktops. We have as willing J. Henkel's 9-piece twin select induction cookware set. And so, you know, we're selecting the winner right now.
Yeah.
So for today, we have Eric Scherzinger that has actually won the prize for today. And just to remind them also is that to claim the prize, the winners must email marketing@miele.ca, or that's also for you
or marketing@concord8x.com.
Okay, and that would be before 6:30 p.m.
Before 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
Today.
And we're not done with our prizing yet because we have
congratulations, Eric.
Yes.
The next one we have is a Miele Countertop coffee machine. It's this one here, the CM6350. And the winner of that beautiful coffee machine is Helen Lee. So Helen, again, congratulations. Yes. Please email marketing@miele.ca or marketing@concord8x.com before 6:30 p.m. Eastern time today. Thank you.
Great. Congratulations to all.
Congratulations.
Yes. So I would like to take the opportunity to basically to thank you for being here as well, Nadia.
We also had some questions that we would like to, I believe, some viewers. No question. Okay.
Yeah. I think what we were answering some of their questions when they were already coming online.
Okay.
So anybody that we may have missed at this point with the questioning, but we will get back to them for sure.
Okay.
But I would like to, in closing, to say on behalf of the Concord team, also the Miele team here from Miele Canada, is to thank all the frontline workers, from the doctors, nurses that are out there, the grocery stores, transportation, getting people from where they need to go. And also a big thank you as well for, we have to always remember our support staff workers as well.
Thank you.
And the restaurants that we are also trying to support. So a big thank you that goes out to all of you. And I want to say thank you, and we will see you then tomorrow.
That was fun. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed discussing cooktops and induction in particular.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
Marilyn.
you. You're welcome.